Hey, everyone. I know it's late. You're up. I'm up. You're probably like the same person when it comes to this. You're a little tired of your situation, but you keep on pushing. So, because you're doing that, I want to share with you what is one thing that I am doing. So, yes, I haven't been to bed yet because I've been doing a whole lot of research and I just figure, you know what? I know there's going to be someone out there that is going to need what I'm trying to sell. So if you're looking at the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, or maybe even the TEAS test, or maybe you're going back to college and you still need some assistance. You're probably up and saying, you know what, I've been trying to do this math problem for almost like 2 to 3 hours, and now look at me. I'm still up here and I'm still struggling. So if that sounds like you, or maybe even someone that you know, this is the live for you. So, one, thank you so much for stepping in, coming in, and just entertaining. But I just wanted to share with you, I'm doing a flash sale that is going to help as many people as I can possible to get through what's called that math. So I just started with my flash sale because, in instance, all of a sudden, a lot of the students that I was really helping out, now all of a sudden the district decided that, hey, if you get an A, you don't have to take your final exam. So, of course, I had it all planned out, but just like everything else in life, it doesn't go out as planned. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to really switch it to talk to those adults that needs a lot of assistance. You know, the ones that really want to get their GED after seeing their nieces and nephews cross the stage and they wish that they can get get their diploma and be able to get that job that they always want. But the only thing that keeps holding them back is possibly the math GED section. Same thing is going to go for the ASVAB. I know a lot of you guys want to get into the military, but for some reason, it seems like that score of 31 just seems non existent. And if that sounds like you, this is definitely the life that you want to sit through. So sit back, relax. Let me tell you what's going on with this whole flash sale and how it can benefit you as well as me. Let's be real, right? So, if you are thinking about going back to college, maybe you're taking one of those introductory algebra courses, and all of a sudden you're realizing that the speed of the class is going way too fast. But at the same time, you know you want to do this, but you're starting to get overwhelmed. You're starting to get frustrated. You have gone seeking help before, but they just make you feel like you're really dumb. But you're not. You just need someone that's going to be patient, that's able to break down the concepts and be able to take it to the next level. Hey, Ann, how are you? And what I do, and just in case, I go live a lot on TikTok. So, like, at least every day, every evening, I go on and I break down mathematical concepts. And it really surprises me on how many adults will say, I really needed this because I have a test. Or a teenager will come in and, like, oh, this is exactly what we're working on. So, what I'm basically doing is taking these concepts but really kind of targeting to the GED and the ASVAB as well as the TEAS test because those are the algebra components that a lot of people skip. So let's say, for instance, you're taking the GED. Did you know that the GED was basically you have a four different types of grading? There's some test questions that's like 1 point, there's some that are 2, 3, and 4. And the ones that you are skipping are those 4 point questions. Anything in dealing with slope, the equational line, even parallel perpendicular lines, or maybe even a little bit of factoring. And if you had someone that kind of shows you, you can break all that stuff down. But then you're saying, hey, Audrey, we can get all this stuff for free online. All I have to do is call ChatGPT or Gemini or someone else and just have them explain it to me. But if you don't know what questions to ask, how can you ask those other resources to generate questions to help you practice? Although you may have some other resources that may be free, but then when it comes to the explanation, it's all written. There's a couple of pictures, but then it's a whole bunch of gibberish to you because you have no idea what it's actually saying. And also it'll be helpful to have somebody that can basically take all those tricks and tips and tell you different ways on how you can minimize those 4 answers down to 2 or maybe even the 1. So this is what I do. My name is Audrey Codner. I'm the owner of ACG Math Tutoring, as well as the You Can Tutor mentorship for tutors. And what I've been doing for the last 5 years is I left the classroom after 22 years because I got tired of all the foolishness. So the foolishness was the emails about a meeting about an email. So I was like, no. But I still wanted to teach, and I still have that education in it. So what I decided was to open up an online tutoring business, try as best I can to reach as many students I can so they can learn to be successful as well. And what happened? This thing started blowing up. All of a sudden, I'm getting kids from Florida, California, Texas, Vermont, Massachusetts, Maryland, obviously, because I'm in Maryland, Washington State, and even Alaska, and even further, Cairo, Egypt, and Nairobi, Kenya. I don't know, but so far, I'm getting a lot of good feedback. Even last month, I had 3 people, I keep saying 3, there I had 4 people that took the ASVAB, and they were just looking for an average grade around like 40, okay? Because we know the minimum is 31 if you already have a high school diploma. So they were just looking for like around 40, 42. I worked with a couple of them only for like an hour, and another one I worked with for about 2 to 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden, when they went in to take their test, one got a 52, the other one got a 54, and the one that really worked hard, the one that I spent like a good 3 weeks with, he got a 71. So obviously something is working and something is clicking. And then I had 3 people that got their GEDs last week just by watching some of my lives on TikTok. Imagine what they could do if they were working with me for only a couple of weeks. So this is why I'm having the flash sale. So if it rings any bells, if you want to go and share, go ahead and share. So when it comes to this flash sale, I'm talking to right now the people that already took the test and they just need to retake it. So wouldn't it be nice that you can send your results to somebody, they'll look at what you missed and actually design a lesson to help build that part up. And it could be in a small group setting, up to like 3 people, or it could be one-to-one. So this is what's called the Retake Ready Bundle. Now, the Retake Ready Bundle, it's great for anyone that's taken the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, and so forth. And it's those that already took the GEDs, they already took these examinations, but they just need that oomph just to get over the hump so they can pass the exam and move on and let the world see their greatness. So when it comes down to all of these, we have like a basic price, which you're just going to have like, you just want recordings. You want to do it more like self-paced, but then have someone that you can ask questions on. There's another part that you can do that and also get a copy of my book, Audrey's Notes, which is basically the copies of all of my notes that I've been doing on TikTok. And on top of that, at the very bottom, there's a QR code. This QR code will actually direct that person to the live that this lesson was on. And you can follow along with it. But you're going to get a digital copy so you can get that right here, right now. So there's no waiting. And then the other thing is the premium. The premium is just with everything else. You can get the courses, you'll get the design, you'll get the Audrey's notes, but then you also get like 2 free sessions of tutoring with me, as well as, I know it's all kinds of crazy, as well as one of my famous, starting to get famous, and you're probably like, which ones? My math notebook. Okay, so this is the notebook that I basically use to copy down all of my notes. Okay, and what I do is not only does it take notes, it also has a resource section in the back where you have a factor sheet, Yes, for a second, I almost forgot what it was. You have like a factor sheet. You'll have like all the resources that a lot of people forget, like the formulas for integers, exponents. We're looking at the different most common words and use what operations to help you solve those word problems that a lot of people would love to skip. Then we also have our linear and quadratic equations, as well as like everything else, order of operations. They have the unit circle for those kids that are taking pre-calculus. So it goes everything, and that's also in my TikTok shop if you ever want one. So you will get a copy of this with the course. So you can start taking your notes in there, but you get a copy of my notes as well. And there are replays. So if you ever just have to miss, because this is the summer and I don't want to take your whole summer away from you, but it gives you that opportunity to really get down to the nitty of the gritty and be able to have someone break those concepts down really quickly. So with that, it's really like a 3-week spell. So you have like a quick turnaround, and then I want you to take that test as soon as possible because everything is still fresh in your mind, and then you can go and just take it, hopefully get over it and get to your goal or surpass it. So with that being said, as I mentioned before, you can also get the Audrey's notes if you want. I have 3 books of these, okay? So I've been doing this since February the 2nd. And then I decided, I'm like, you know what? People keep asking me for my notes, so why not just put it in the book and let it accessible for everyone? So there's 3 of these books, the Audrey's notes. I am usually charged like $25 per book. But because of this flash sale, I'm doing $11 per book. That gives you the guidance. This will be great for homeschool parents and also kids. It'll be great for teachers that needs for remediation. It'll be great for students that just want to have someone to give them a little guidance that's not the normal voices that they hear. So with that being said, hopefully you guys are enjoying this and you're like, oh, this is not too bad. All right. But what happens if you're like, okay, well, I didn't take the GED already. I didn't take the ASVAB. This is my first time taking it and I haven't been in school in forever. And I don't want to join a group and then feel like I'm the only one that just doesn't know. So then you can actually do one of my courses that I'm doing right now. It's a live course. So it's my summer math prep course. It's great for GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, and the TEAS, and it really hits all the components of the algebra concepts. So it's going to hit on those 1-point questions with the fractions and the decimals, but it's also going to hit those 4-point questions for the GED when it comes to the equation of the line, slope, being able to do the volume of a sphere, a rectangular prism, as well as a cylinder. So they always focus on those guys. And then systems of equations, that's what I went live with last night. And it's actually going to be up and moving. So I'm actually doing that for some of my lives if you guys want to watch it. But usually if you're going to be up at this time, it's because you're either coming off of a night shift or you're either getting up ready to get ready for the day. So if it's more like getting up, getting ready for the day, that might actually work for you. So what we do, we meet twice a week, and we already completed the first week. It's a 12-week program, and we're actually going into, week number 2. So we have 11 more weeks to go, and I still have it open for new people. So we meet twice a day. You either come to the Monday, Friday group or the Tuesday, Thursday group. And what we do is we break down concepts step by step. And I had it a second ago, but that's how life is. When you want something, you can't find it. All right. But we break down the concepts. I go step by step, making sure that you understand where things are coming from. And if you want a sample of how I teach, you can look on some of the samples of my profiles. You can go to my YouTube channel if you want to actually look at that. Okay, what's your schedule for your lives? My lives, I know, Liz, you're probably like, wait, what are you doing up? I haven't been to bed yet. So I just wanted to get this all out there since it was fresh in my head. So usually Saturday and Sundays, I go live at 8:30 p.m., Mondays through Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Fridays at 1 p.m. I also have like a listing right now that is in my profile. So you can always take a look there. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about this flash sale that what I'm doing. All right. Awesome. So here's my thing. What happens if you're a college student and you're currently taking, say, college algebra, or maybe those classes to help develop your skills for college algebra? And you notice that the pace is just way too fast. You don't understand your professor knows, no problem with this. Your professor feels like he knows or she knows a lot about the math, but when it comes to breaking it down to their students, it just seems like it's two separate things. So for me, I have what's called a college comeback math sessions. So that's like a good half an hour to 45 minutes because I know how I'd like to talk. And I try to get it into a small group setting. So the small group, when I say small, I mean small, like just 3 people. Okay, the most I will have in a session is 3 people. So I like to give at least one person like a good 15 minutes of doing what they need to do. But a lot of the concepts are going to overlap because you're basically roughly in the same courses. If not, I'm going to try to put you into the same courses. So we're starting off like single sessions. Single sessions are like 47. My sessions are usually doing any kind of tutoring is usually $87. So I'm really cutting a lot back. So with all of that, oh yeah. So with all of that, we're looking at just really getting you some of the assistance that you need. Okay, so I really want you to make sure that you understand the concepts, be able to grow and flow and rock it out. Then, if you want to do like 3 session bundles, you could, okay, for like 117. And I know you're probably like, Audrey, this is like way past what I need to do. But then this is how you kind of get away around it. So if you know you come to one session, then you come to my lives and you can ask, hey, Audrey, do you know how to do, I don't know, adding polynomials? Then you can ask me and I could probably do it on the live and then you're still getting the assessments that you need. I don't know, you just learn to think outside the box. So, and that and actually works for you. So those are the things that I basically have. Like I have the ones for people that already took the GED. All you have to do is submit your courses, your results to me, and then I'll take a look at it and I develop a plan from there. Or if you're current a college student, then we could actually make arrangements to meet so I can help you break down concepts in a small group setting. And then the other one that's going on right now, which is going to close this coming Saturday, okay, the 21st. I'm closing the doors because I don't want to get too far ahead and then you join in and then you're going to get lost in the sauce. So if you know you need someone to basically like, hey, let me hold your hand, let me walk you through it, let me break down all these concepts so you can understand it, plus you get a little bit of homework. Okay, just a little extra practice. Nothing too crazy. It's never going to be anything more than 10 problems. You know, nothing like 28 problems and all these things. But really breaking down those concepts so you can get the achievement that you want. I really want this for you because I know there's a lot of people that are like, I think I need help, but I'm not sure how to reach out. Reach out. There is a person right here that's literally saying, I want to help. This is what I need. And we can make each other make all this stuff happen. So if you know of anyone that's thinking about getting their GED, or maybe you're a part of a program and then you just really want to have somebody that understands the concepts, that is patient enough for your clientele, so be it. Okay? All right. So if there are any questions, please don't hesitate. Put it into the comments. All right. If you're wanting this information, you're like, oh, this sounds really good. I really want to learn more. Well, then I need for you to DM me. Okay. Direct message me just in case you don't know the lingo. So I want you to DM me and you can just DM me just the word math help, the words math help. Right. If you just type in math help, or if you just say, can you give me more information about your courses? Something along the lines, so I can connect with you and send you the link, because sometimes a lot of these platforms are like really touchy when you're trying to like advance yourself or to sell. They want to keep you guys in the platform, which is understandable. All right, so that's going to be for students. Now, what happens if you're a tutor? You're just like, hey, Audrey, I kind of like some of the stuff you've been doing and some of the extra products, and I really want to learn how to do that. Or maybe like, hey, oh, do you mentor? Do you do any kind of mentorship or any coaching? I do. Okay, so I do have a couple of things that I do for tutors. One, I actually help tutors build up their TikToks so they can reach out and get on live so they can start displaying their information to really attract their clientele, right? Because there's a lot of people out here that's always asking me about, calculus stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? No, that's not my thing. But I got a guy. Now I got the guy on TikTok, and he's starting to grow a little bit. So if anything, we definitely need to follow him some more. Yes. What would be my best way to learn sequential numbers? All right. So here's the best thing. One, make sure you're on top of your multiplication table, because by knowing your multiplication table and be able to figure out patterns, because remember, multiplication is just fast addition. A lot of people struggle because they don't know their multiplication. You can't do factoring if you don't know your multiplication. Okay? You can't learn how to simplify a fraction without knowing your multiplication. So we really need to figure out the patterns. So then once you figure out that pattern, then you can say, all right, well, what's the formula? Because if you're talking about like, okay, consecutive numbers, so like, all right, if I'm looking for like 3 consecutive numbers, regardless if it's odd or even, it's always x plus 2, and x plus 4. If it's talking about just consecutive integers and there's no odd or even, it's just going to be x plus 1, x plus 2. And the reason why, think about it. For me, if I started with 1, how do I go from 1 to 2? Well, I have to add 1. If I start at 1 and I want to get to 3, how do I get from 1 to 3? I have to add 2. So 1, the starting part, is going to be your x. To get to the next point or the next term over, you have to add 1. And if I want to get to the next term after that, I have to add 2, then add 3, then add 4, and so on. Okay? So it's not so much, oh, I got to memorize formulas. Sometimes you just got to figure out the pattern. But what helps you is knowing your multiplication. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. All right. So it does. It takes practice. It's not super, super like, oh, yeah, I was born and now I know all this math. No, you still got to do some practicing with it. So I do have the TikTok for tutors. So if anyone that is into tutoring, you're welcome. If you're into tutoring and you just need that edge, you need to get more followers and you need to get more assistance, make sure you reach out to me for that, as well as my mentorship. I used to have a big membership, and all of a sudden, like, people start expanding, which is great. Some of them couldn't come to the meetings because they're tutoring, which is great. That's the whole point. Because eventually you got to let the little birds fly. But then it just kind of got weary. I just felt like I'm doing all this preparation for stuff and people weren't really being receptive. So now I'm going to do it more like individual. I think that will work out best, because then we can meet monthly and then we'll break down, like say, hey, let's see what's going on with your platforms. Let's look at those analytics. And what does these analytics say for our tutoring business? There is a lot of business out there, especially if you don't sell a product. Sometimes it's like, okay, you got some great coaches, but it's all because they're doing something more like product instead of a service business. So, and especially tutoring has a hairy little thing because we don't have to have a brick and mortar to tutor. We got online. So it's always like it would be nice to have someone that can talk that lingo, that can push me, and that can, like, when I get to this moment, like, I don't think I should, I would ask many questions like, why not? Let's go, give it a try, give it a week. After a week, let's reevaluate. Okay, so that's basically what I do. So I have those offers for tutors as well. So TikTok for tutors, that's like 67. And for the monthly membership, that is going to go from 97 to 77. Okay, so it's going to be at 77. So if this seemed helpful to you, because let's be real, I want you to achieve your greatness. I want to continue teaching, but at the same time, I have to pay some bills, right? But I'm going to use my God given talent to help you with that. But that means I'm providing a service to you. But you're going to take this information and not store it like squirrels. Okay. You're actually going to take this information and you're going to apply it. And at the end, if you're thinking about doing that summer course, at the end of the course, which will be the last week of August, you're going to take your GED. I want you to take your ASVAB. I don't want you to wait. I really want you to just go and take it because everything is going to be fresh in your mind. And then you'll be able to just go and run with it. All right. So that's basically what I wanted to say. We got the birds chirping outside. So again, if you have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to message me. My name is Audrey Codner, and ACG Math Tutoring if you're on TikTok, and that is basically my business name. And make sure you DM me if you have any questions about the GED, about the ASVAT, or even just how can I break it down? Because it's going to take work from you, but then you'll have someone to guide you. So basically, I want to say you're not alone. All right. So have an amazing day. Okay. If you're just coming home from work, take a deep breath, go to bed, pass out. All right. All right. Have an amazing day, guys. Take care. Bye now.